Hello and welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with a weekly reading for the week of October 27th. Even though I'm pulling this on a certain date, this is a timeless reading, so whenever it comes up on your video feed, there's probably a message for you here. As always, this is a general collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Hope you guys are having a good day. I feel like I've moved through, like on a personal level, I've moved through a lot of heavy energy. So I'm feeling like really light today. I'm using the Light Seers Tarot because I feel so light. So it's like a nice shift. I always wonder when I go through that kind of stuff if it's like a collective shift or if it's just me. God, what does this collective need to know about their journey today? Page of Wands. Sweet. I feel like that's some of that light energy. I'm like drawn to her tossing the wand, and I'm trying to feel if that's feels light. Yeah. That's a really good energy. The Page of Wands in the traditional tarot, it's interesting. It's more of a card of like anxiety and hypervigilance. It can be a card of like spying, but the energy in this deck is so just like light and free and beautiful. I feel like that's literally all that I'm getting off of that card, especially after I just said that about just the like feeling the energy being lighter. That's really funny. I'm talking about light, and I just found this thing on my floor. And it's from when I changed the light bulb in my lamp. I knew that there was a piece that fell out and I hadn't been able to find it. And I just randomly looked over and found it as I'm talking about light. It's like really random. Okay. I just feel like that's a confirmation from the universe. The Emperor. I feel like I'm drawn to the light pouring in right here. I really like, I'm channeling that. I feel like there's some sort of light. I'm drawn to the light circle around her, and I'm drawn to this light coming in for him. So I feel like he's in like a bit of a serious energy. But the light coming in is just making me hear the phrase lighten up. That's all I'm getting from that. The Nine of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Death card, which is death and rebirth in this deck, and the King of Wands. It's interesting because we had the Nine of Wands in the romance reading that I just did last week. I forget if it was Wednesday or Thursday. I've been so off from being sick. But it was this feeling for me in that, and I'm getting that as well, of this sort of like walled off energy or like defensiveness. It's interesting. I'm still feeling that like, okay, with her, I'm drawn to the fact that she has that light. I'm just getting this message of light here. It's just what's going on right now. So she has this light with her behind the fence. I'm still hearing the phrase lighten up. So I feel like she's sort of resonating with the Emperor for me a bit, where there's like this clinging, defensive, like walled off energy, feeling like you need to sort of like protect yourself from someone or something. And the universe is just saying lighten up. I feel like that's just completely the energy in these cards. The Queen of Swords is very much feeling like that to me. She's like a very, she's like a steady energy, but I also feel her energy as very clear. So she's mostly just like peaceful and calm. Her contemplative vibe is very different than this Emperor, who almost feels to me like he's kind of fixating on something, or there's like a heaviness on his heart, like a weight on his shoulders, where he's feeling very serious. Whereas she's kind of contemplating, but she's doing it from like this really peaceful, open place. So the energy feels very different. I feel like if you're in this collective where maybe you have been in some heavy energy or some closed off energy, and the universe is sort of giving you this message to lighten up, I feel like the universe is inviting you to embody the energy of this Queen of Swords and kind of release the heavy contemplation of this Emperor, that sort of feeling of like a weight on your heart or like a weight on your mind. The Death and Rebirth card, I feel like is definitely, I mean, look at the light coming out of this hood. I love this card for that, right? It's like radiant. It feels like the death of, let me think of how to say this, because I was just going to say it and the universe corrected me. If you are in this collective, there is an energy here in the universe for you to tap into if you would like to heal and alleviate some of this like weight or heaviness that is kind of burdening like your heart and your mind. So that I was going to say the universe is going to heal this for you, but it's not true, because it's up to your free will, right? It's up to your choice. But I feel like if you are in this collective and you are choosing to heal, there's potentially a huge healing for you here because of this Death and Rebirth card. And just like that radiant light coming up out of that. I feel like not only is it the lightening of those burdens, right? Feeling that physical or emotional lightening off of your mind and off of your heart, kind of where those things have been worrying you. So I feel like there's a lightening of your burdens, but I also feel like when you heal this energy, your light is going to be able to shine brighter. And I like really just keep being drawn to the Queen of Swords card. She is sort of the healed energy here on the table. And she just, her energy for me feels so light and like crisp and fresh. Like she's kind of, the way I'm reading this, it's like a winter, I don't know, like a winter afternoon or something. So like the sun's maybe a little bit warm, but the air just has like this nice crisp feeling to it. And there's something about that feels like really nice. Like that freshness of air that happens in the winter where it's really clean and clear. I feel like sometimes in the summer, the air can get kind of hot and stale. And that's more like the feeling that I have here in this Emperor. It's like he's in this weird concrete walled room or something with like no windows, right? It's sort of this odd feeling of like stale air. And I'm feeling that's like the flow of your energy and the flow of your emotions. So it's like they're not flowing here and then they're really flowing here. I feel like the Page of Wands is just sort of the crux of this. Like she's just sort of throwing up her wand. I feel like this is her making the choice to be free, right? And that's kind of what the universe is giving me, is like the universe will support you here, but that you, if you're in this collective and you want to do this healing, that has to be your choice and you have to let the universe know that. The King of Wands is an interesting card to end with here. There's like an intensity about him. I feel the energy that I'm feeling from him is just that confidence. Like he's really owning himself here. Even like the way I'm like drawn to his smoldery gaze. So I don't really know what that's all about. He's like a very passionate king. It could be that as you're healing and releasing this energy, maybe it's becoming attractive. Like your energy is becoming more attractive to like a partner or potential partner. But yeah, I feel like there's like a confidence and a self-possession about him. He feels like the kind of a level up. This is interesting because the Emperor is really the highest, I don't know, like most powerful masculine, right? He's the Emperor in the tarot. But the King of Wands is actually feeling more evolved than him to me right now. Because I'm almost reading the Emperor, I think, as like a reversed energy where he just I feel that weight on his heart. Like there's a weight on his heart and a weight on his mind. Even the chess piece in his hand, I feel like he's like strategizing or trying to problem solve or something here. The way that when you play chess, right, you play like multiple moves ahead. You're kind of trying to like anticipate what someone's going to do. So I feel like he's trying to solve this problem like 500 moves out or something. It's just like, it's like an impossible task and he's kind of like weighed down by it. But the King of Wands feels a lot more, I wouldn't even say he feels free. I was just going to say that, but that doesn't feel right. But he does feel very focused and he feels very present. And I feel like it's releasing that need to strategize like all these moves ahead, right? Like days and weeks and months and years ahead, kind of just letting it go and really just being present. And I feel like that's the energy that the King of Wands is showing up in, and it feels really nice. Just being in the here and now. All right. So for advice, we have the Nine of Swords and the Star. I love that. That's such a clear message for me. I feel like, I mean, talking about the light again, right? Look at that. It's like so beautiful. It's what my overhead light looks like right now that I have replaced the light bulb. The Nine of Swords and the Star feels like such a clear message to me of letting go of the worries and allowing like a wish come true to come in from the universe. I'm really just, this is such an interesting reading. It's really is about releasing this heaviness. The Emperor here with his that weight on his heart and his mind and trying to figure out these like this complex strategy of moves or whatever. There's like a lot of control there, and it feels like a lot of like an energy leak and just someone who's having a hard time going with the flow. So I feel like the Nine of Swords is referring to that, right? That can cause a lot of worry and stress and distress, right? Like she's laying there crying. I'm drawn to the little light beam up here, right? Since that's the theme of our cards this evening. But being able to move out of that worry energy. And I think that's why the Emperor has that like weight on his heart or weight on his shoulders. Because whatever this is that he's trying to puzzle through or figure out, it's something that is important to him, right? He's like taking it really seriously. I feel like the Star feels, it feels like having faith to me, like that it's part of what the Emperor is resisting by having that control and trying to strategize so far out. Like he's lacking faith in the universe that if he just surrenders, that good things will happen to him, right? He doesn't have to control every little tiny thing that comes up. The Star can be a wish come true. It can also be healing, like really profound healing. It's a major arcana card, right? It's like life-changing healing that the universe is inviting you into. So I'm really feeling that energy of like the advice here would be releasing those worries, that anxiety, right? And really kind of what I just heard is taking a back seat. It's almost like taking a back seat to the universe and letting God drive the car for a little while. Like, don't take me literally with that, right? But I feel like it's removing yourself from that driver's seat of control that the Emperor is kind of like stuck in, right? And you know how people use that expression, like, Jesus, take the wheel, right? Like when life gets crazy, you just can't do much except like hand it over to the divine and let them take over. Like, I kind of feel that energy with the Star where she's kneeling, she's kind of humbled and she's really surrendered. But the universe is bringing in like this beautiful gift for her and that it's hers. Like she's connected to it, right? She's kind of got this like wrapped around her hands. It looks pretty secure. She's looking at it. She knows what's going on. She knows it's coming in. Being able to trust and have some faith that you don't have to control every step of the way in order to get your good. So for the next row, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. Yeah, it's like, okay. The wish come true. There's a couple other cards of wishes come true, but the Star and the Nine of Cups are two of the more obvious ones. So the fact that they're both here is like, yeah, that's totally the energy that the universe is giving you. I'm super feeling the Nine of Swords and the Six of Swords as the same woman. She even has like the same red, even though it's like a little wrap in this one, but it's just the same color. She kind of has the same color hair. There's the same color kind of vibration going on here in the cards, like a color match. I was talking about the Four of Pentacles in the Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday, the last reading that I had too. where it was around like that clinging and controlling energy. So it was these two that were together. It was the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands were representing like a clinging, a controlling, putting up walls or barriers, feeling like you kind of had to protect the things that you feel like are yours, or maybe they'll get like taken away from you, or they'll get leaked away, or you'll lose them somehow. But it like this is a very obvious message in this row to me. So this is you in that energy of clinging. I feel like even the fact that she has her eyes closed and her face is kind of turned away, it's like she's being really possessive, which is resulting in like a restriction, right? Because you put up that wall or you're busy hanging on to things and you're not surrendering and like letting the universe flow through. So there's like a stagnation and like a stalling energy. And she's like refusing to look at it. But I feel like the advice in the cards here is to move on. The Six of Swords is a huge energy of that, right? Moving on from the tumultuous waters to the calmer waters, moving from like a chaos place to a healed place, a peaceful place. So being able to move on from that and then having a wish come true come in with this Nine of Cups. It's lovely. The energy and even the color of this is reminding me of the Page of Wands. It's that similar, like even their stance with their arms thrown back and their heart chakras wide open and like the golden, beautiful colors of the card, kind of this light radiating from her chest is similar to this circle around her. So those cards are very much relating to each other. That feeling of like, I mean, what I'm hearing is that feeling of like, screw it. Like, it's like the Emperor finally getting sick of trying to plan this like chess match, right? Whatever this is that he's trying to like strategize about or like control or kind of make happen, right? It's like he's going, screw it. And he just throws the little chess piece here. That's kind of like the energy that I'm getting from that. Yeah, just like completely kind of getting fed up with it and realizing, like, I keep seeing papers. It's like someone who's got like piles of documentation around them and finally they just go, and they like kind of throw the papers and they're like raining down everywhere. Like all of his best laid plans, I think he's realizing is just making so much work and it's such an energy leak. And at the end of the day, I think he's realizing that he's not the one who's actually in control. It's God. That's awesome. The sun just came out. Yeah, I feel that. It's like, again, it's like a figure with her arms thrown back and her like heart chakra is wide open. Speaking of light, it's like literally the card of light in the tarot, the sun, right? That's really funny how all of that kind of came together. So not only like the physical light of the sun, right? Representing like illumination, but the lightness of her soul, the lightness of her emotions, of her heart and mind, because this is someone who has chosen to release that kind of excessive control, that clinging, that over need to like control or strategize things and just saying, screw it, and like throwing it away and allowing themselves to go kind of into this more clear energy. I feel like this is going to be really transformative, whatever this is that this collective is kind of trying to control or like hold on to. If you're choosing to heal that and choosing to let it go, there is big transformation for you here. We have the Death card. I feel like the Six of Swords is a really significant one here, even as a minor arcana. And then the things that the universe wants to bring in, the Star, the Nine of Cups, and the Sun. I mean, come on. Like, if any of you guys know anything about tarot, those are phenomenal cards to receive in a reading. I feel like the universe is saying to you that this is the energy that you're being kind of supported to heal into or like call in. It's really beautiful. I feel like we might have one more card at the end here. Yeah, that's sweet. It's the Queen of Cups. She came out right away and she's like, yes, I'm right here. Speaking of surrender, look at her posture. I mean, do I even need to say anything else? She's like just gently got her eyes closed. She's got her hands up in a literal gesture of surrender. With this like little watery crown over her head, the light kind of all around her. Yeah, man, this is really powerful. If you're in this collective, surrender. That's just the biggest message that is coming from this. And as always, please use your own judgment and make your own decisions. Just here reading the energy of the cards. So you guys need to also figure out what resonates for you in your life, right? This is a beautiful energy. Really, 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 really beautiful. It's interesting that it's related to the reading on Wednesday. I'm feeling like such a message lately of releasing that defensiveness, any tendencies to put walls up, any tendencies to cling, to control, like completely letting all of that go. I feel like there's something really important in the energy of the universe right now about just going with the flow. Like I'm really feeling this Six of Swords card as like she's on the boat, she's kind of letting the crows steer. She's not even trying to like row the boat or steer it in any way. I feel like it's like her divinely guided little crow spirits or whatever. But I'm really feeling the energy of like just being in the water, whether it's like a river, an ocean, or whatever, and just letting the universe take you. With the current, with the tides, like whatever that looks like. I feel like there's something very important about maybe like the energy of this emperor. He has a certain goal that he's trying to reach, and he has a certain way that he thinks he wants to reach that goal. And I'm feeling that message that I get sometimes where like the universe has something so much better planned for you. Like if you just release what you think you want and how you think you want to get it or how you think you're going to make it happen, and just let the universe sweep in and kind of go with the flow, follow your intuition, like follow the signs, right? I don't know if that will resonate for everyone, but for me, I love following signs. It's so fun. Following the signs of where you feel like the universe is taking you. There's so much beautiful energy. The universe wants to bring you like literal wishes come true, right? This beautiful healing, so much joy in that Sun card, success, freedom, joy. There's that openness, that abundance. And then the Queen of Cups, just that complete surrender and peace. I really feel that peace in the Queen of Swords as well. It's so beautiful, you guys. This is a cool energy. All right. I have the angel, what is it? The angel answers oracle cards. And on the bottom, it says trust. I feel like that's a key of this, like trusting the universe. And I mean, I like personally, I still work through a lot of energy around trusting the universe. And, I think that's like a pretty common upset or like struggle to have, even if you're pretty deep into your spiritual path. So maybe kind of healing some places where you're having difficulty trusting and letting go might be really beneficial in this energy. It's like, I just heard like, if there's one key thing that you can ask yourself, it would be like, where am I not trusting God, the universe, kind of the flow of energy, like whatever resonates for you. We have success. Yeah, that's so funny. It's like this is a completely different deck, right? So the themes are different, but this angel has their arms thrown back and their heart chakra open again, right? And even like the ball of light above. So that same feeling that we got here from the Page of Wands, from the Nine of Cups, from the Sun, just like these joyful people with this golden light sort of throwing their arms back and opening their heart chakras, like really beautiful. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I feel like that's just another confirmation of like, it's just like going for it. Like I keep being drawn to the throwing, this gesture of like throwing. And even like I said, I was channeling, like seeing stacks of papers and just finally like throwing the papers and being like, forget it, I'm done trying to like categorize things or like catalog them or organize them or whatever. Yeah, I don't know where the energy's coming from, but it's like really strong. I see the Emperor just sort of tossing that, and not even out of anger. Like, I'm not meaning that they're angry. It's like out of joy and like release, like just tossing and releasing the burden of like this, I don't know, like this tangled, complicated, heavy energy of trying to control and cling and protect yourself and all this stuff, like the defensiveness, and just completely tossing that aside and letting it go. But I feel like that's the feeling that will be in your heart when you make that choice to be like, yes, like, why didn't I do that weeks ago? That felt so good. It feels like really joyful. I feel like that's you cheering to yourself. Yes. Do you have any other messages for this collective? That would be a yes, since it flung right on the table. Romance. Sweet. That's interesting. I was channeling that with him. I didn't really get that from a lot of these other cards. But his eyes, he has like the most smoldering gaze. He's like a very passionate energy, this king. I'm even drawn to like the lion in the background, kind of as like a stalking energy. And like, please take that lightly. I don't mean that someone is literally stalking you, but I mean like you catching someone's attention, right? And them sort of being like watchful or mindful of you being around, like maybe a coworker, right? Or a friend who has feelings for you who you don't know about them or something. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this guy's like on fire on the inside. He's very passionate energy. I almost feel like I think I had said with the Emperor that kind of control and that like excessive strategizing that he's trying to do, right? Planning like months or years, his moves months or years down the road, right? Like, I feel like that is such an energy leak. And I'm even drawn to the wall and the Nine of Wands. Like, that's a very leaky wall. That wall's not going to do too much. But I feel like this energy of the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands too, I feel like a self-possession about both of them where they're both extremely present. And that energy is so attractive that I feel like you might even accidentally call in some romance just because your energy is going to be so attractive. Like, look at the things that you're attracting over here as you release this. Wishes come true, this healing, another card of abundance and wishes come true, a card of complete joy and success and like freedom and this openness and the peace and the surrender of the Queen of Cups. Like, holy cow. Those energies are so attractive. I feel like if you are in this collective and this romance piece resonates, you're going to be attracting romance by accident. You're not even going to mean to do this. I feel like I'm going to use the Yin Yang Oracle. Just get a couple more cards here. Maybe put these three up here so I have some room. I love that. It's like accidental romance. Like, oops, I was just over here surrendering and being amazing, and then romance came in. It's really sweet. I feel like the Queen of Cups is a very romantic energy. So it's interesting. All right. Do you have any other messages for the folks in this collective? It says growth in summer. That's interesting. I definitely can feel that growth energy of you just being free and releasing. This is interesting. You being free and releasing that control energy, the walled off energy, the defensive energy, the clinging. It is releasing such a huge energy leak for you. It's going to feel awesome having that energy back. And I do feel like you're going to grow a lot. Summer is interesting because we're in fall now, right? So that's quite a ways away, but I don't know, maybe this is like a long-term change that you're kind of going through. The star can be an energy that's kind of like a long time coming. So it could be the case that you're healing through this and you don't quite see the results of your efforts yet, in terms of like a timing element, but I don't know. I feel like the summer is just feeling for me like more of that light energy, right? Like summer begins on the longest, lightest day of the year. We have the sun card, right? Which is totally that energy. Like, yeah, it's just feeling like more light. The summer is a very light season. This is interesting. These two cards were flipped over in the deck. I don't know why when I put my decks away, they're like fairly organized. I don't really care about them being reversed or upright, but they're at least all, flipped over. So we have twin flames and we have integration and union. It's really funny. It's feeling to me like in my spiritual teachings about twin flames, we talk about how when you focus on yourself and you focus on your relationship with the divine and your own healing, which is literally what the person in this collective is doing. Like, that's when your energy becomes so magnetic. It's like the energy I got from the romance, where it's like you accidentally all of a sudden have romance because of like focusing on yourself, right? That's what this feels like to me. They're totally going together. I legit feel that. I feel like if you're in this collective, because none of these cards felt romantic to me. This feels very much about internal spiritual work that someone is doing like on their own and very independently. And even the healing and the rewards that are coming in being very about you, very about you in the universe, just experiencing like massive, expansive joy together. But I feel like because that's your focus and because you're not trying to get something, like if you're in this collective, you're not healing to get the romance. You're not healing to get the twin flame. You're just healing because healing is awesome, right? And it feels really good to be in alignment, and it feels good to release this control and just surrender and trust. I feel like I'm even getting like more passionate as I'm like talking about this energy. I feel like I'm getting like louder and kind of more animated, but that's how I feel this. I mean, honestly, that's how things happened for me. I was minding my own business, healing a bunch of really deep stuff, and then all of a sudden stuff started happening like in my romantic life. And I feel like if you're in this collective, you're going to be in a similar situation. So this could be, I talk about twin flames. That's my highest level romantic partnership that resonates for me. If you don't believe in twin flames, it could be just your highest level spiritual partnership. It could be what you conceive of as soulmates. So like however this resonates for you is totally fine. But it's like that person, right? It's your person. It's your special romance, coming in and just showing up out of nowhere. And you're just like minding your business and not even like thinking about that. This is a really cool energy. I feel like that's part of the joy of like this wish come true. It's almost like a surprise energy. I feel like that's part of them throwing their arms back is like surprise. Like if you threw your friend a surprise party, right? You'd kind of throw up your arms and yell surprise. And I kind of feel like that's some of the joy and delight of like these folks with their arms thrown back and their heart chakras wide open. Surprise. Here's your twin flame. It's like you're just minding your business, doing your spiritual work. This is a really cool energy. If you are in this collective, I'd be super curious to hear how this manifests for you if you ever feel like sharing. This is really, really cool. I hope that this reading was helpful. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment if you wish, as all of those things help me as I'm growing my channel. I feel so delighted and like delicious inside about this energy. This is super lovely. So to recap right quick, this reading is about someone making the choice to release defensiveness, clinging, any sort of control that's going on, just tossing it into the wind and saying, screw it, I'm done trying to like drive my own ship or whatever, right? And you hand the wheel to God and you go, God, I'm going to go with the flow. and God just drives your boat downstream, and all of this awesome stuff can come in because you're healing into greater surrender and you're healing into deeper faith. And I feel like, and trust, right? Trust with the universe and really being able to go with the flow with God. It feels really, really good. Awesome. Well, I hope to see you guys in my next reading. Happy healing. Bye.